Okay, this is the assignment 6.1 on the Pythagorean theorem assignment, and these are practice problems. So it says, first of all, directions: find the missing measurement in each of these right triangles. Round to the nearest tenth, so that's important to remember, if necessary. So on the first one, first of all, we'll put in that's where the right triangle is. So each of these is a leg. So we're gonna go on this one, 4.5 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. So we would do 4.5 times 4.5, which is 20.25, plus 4 squared is 16. So if I add the 16 to the 20.25, that's 36.25 equals c squared. So remember, the opposite of squaring it is taking the square root. So I need to take the square root of 36.25. On this, the square root of 36.25 is 6.02, but it says round to the nearest tenth. So we will say that angle C over here, C is 6.0, and that is number one. Number two, if this is my right triangle, so I know what one of the legs is, but I don't, so here's B, here's A. I know what B is, but I don't know what A is. So I'm gonna say A squared plus B squared, or well, B is 8, so we'll say 8 squared equals 10 squared. So I don't know A squared, but 8 squared is 64, and 10 squared is 100. Then I need to subtract 64 from both sides. So 100 subtract 64 is 36. So then I have A squared equals 36. So remember, I have to take the square root of 36, which is 6. So A will equal 6. So there's that one over there. Okay, number 3, my right triangle is again right there. And on this one, I'm gonna take, I know that this is my A, this is my B, and this is my C. So I don't know A, so A, or actually I do know A is 2, sorry. So 2 squared plus B squared, I don't know, equals 14 squared. So 2 squared is 4 plus B squared equals, and 14 times 14 is 196 for that one. So then I'm gonna subtract 4, so subtract 4, and that's 192. So B squared equals 192. So again, the opposite of squaring it is taking the square root. So I need to take the square root of 192, which is 13.8, but when it says round to the nearest tenth, I'm going to say that B is 13.9, and that is number 3. Number 4 on here, this is my right triangle, so I know A, I know C, I don't know B on here. So I'm gonna say 8 squared plus B squared equals 20 squared. So 8 squared is 64 plus B squared equals 400. Then I would subtract the 64, and 400 subtract 64 is 336. So B squared equals 336. So remember, the opposite of squaring it is taking the square root. So the square root of 336 is 18.3 something. So we'll just say B is 18.3. And that is number 4. Number 5, this angle right here is my right angle. So I have one of my sides, I have A, but I don't have B, and then I have C. It's like upside down on it. So I have 3 squared plus B squared equals 11 squared. So 3 squared is 9 plus b squared equals 121. So I got to subtract the 9, and b squared equals 112. And then I want to take the square root. Remember, the opposite of squaring it is taking the square root. And so the square root of 112, oh, sorry about that. Square root of 112 is 18.58, but rounding it, 10.58, so it's going to be, b is going to be 10.6 for 5. And then on 6, the right angle on it is right here, so this would be like my A, my B, my C. So 12 squared plus b squared equals 25 squared. So 12 squared is 144 plus b squared, and 25 squared is 625. So then I need to subtract the 144, and that is 481. So b squared equals 481. So I got to take the square root of 481, which is 21.93. So we'll just leave it at, our b here is 21.9, and that is number 6.